This is the Steele Report.
This week on the Steele Report, we're going to talk about Cedar Valley Angels. That's a relatively new local nonprofit which helps foster kids and foster families. But first, let's tell you all about the preliminary plans underway right now as Waterloo is set to host RAGBRAI 48 in July. Our program begins right now.
Now from KWWL, this is the Steele Report.
And welcome to this week's edition of the Steele Report. Really excited to tell you about kind of some of the advanced planning that's underway right now for RAGBRAI 48 coming to Waterloo for an overnight stop for the first time in 10 years, going back to 2010. So let me introduce our guests here today. They certainly need no introduction. We start with Waterloo Mayor Quentin Hart in his third term as Waterloo's first African-American mayor. 8 years on the city council before winning that runoff election against Tim Hurley in 2015. And by the way, he must be doing quite a job because he's had no opposition the last two.
Don't put a challenge out there.
We put the challenge out, but nobody.
Right.
I think you've scared off all your competitors so far. And please welcome to the program here Tavis Hall. And Tavis, of course, is well known in the community too. He's the executive director right now of Experience Waterloo. Back in 2016, as you know, Tavis was named executive director of Main Street Waterloo before joining the Convention and Visitors Bureau locally here in 2017 to focus on tourism, which is now branded, of course, as Experience Waterloo. And for RAGBRAI 48, you guys, you're going to pack Irish Fest into one day, basically,
Right.
and make it almost expand the whole city. So, Tavis, let's start with you real quickly.
Sure.
Congratulations, first of all. I think 200 or 300 cities go after the overnight stops every year, so to get one is a big deal. How'd you do it?
So, you know, we brought a group of folks together early on, and RAGBRAI only asked for a front and back, sort of a quick application. And we decided that we'd go a little harder, we'd be a little bit more robust in our proposal. So we spelled out sort of our vision of downtown with campsites over at Exchange and nearby, and we were fortunate enough that RAGBRAI, really bought into the vision. They obviously had a little bit tougher of a year, and they don't shy away from that. But it's a really cool opportunity for that event to grow and change and become a bit more equitable, and for us to be able to showcase Waterloo after 10 years of hosting, since we hosted.
So Mayor Hart, this is going to be totally different in many aspects because everything in the previous overnight stop from 2010 was out south of town,
yes.
Including the Isle area out there in that campground and the Hawkeye. You mentioned Hawkeye Community College was involved in that. So this, though, is a tremendous opportunity for Waterloo to show off what has been going on under your administration in downtown in the last few years with Jim Walsh and their, the developers that are, putting heart and soul into that.
Yeah, it's just an incredible time to host RAGBRAI for the city of Waterloo. What's interesting, I actually worked at Hawkeye years ago when we held RAGBRAI, so I was able to go out and volunteer and see everyone across the campus being there. But now, I'm so thankful to, Mayor Clark, Mayor Hurley, Ruff for all their vision with the Riverfront Renaissance and the great things taking place. So it's an incredible time.
And of course, you already have a major sponsor that we covered this on the news here recently, VGM,
right.
A great company that is in a position to do great things, and they certainly do. And Van Miller, the late Van Miller, would certainly be proud of this effort here with RAGBRAI. So getting that sponsor kind of gets things going, right?
Absolutely. And, VGM is a great partner, not just in this, but in so much of what our organization does, what the city does. They're the top workplace in the state, and they are really proud of home. It's an important part of their business model to be strong community partners.
So tell people a little bit about Experience Waterloo, because you focus specifically on tourism, getting people here, and for as long as possible too, right? So tell me a little bit about the organization.
So we really are an economic development organization. Tourism represents $9 billion of economic activity in the state of Iowa, $387 million of economic activity in the Cedar Valley. And so we don't always think of the Cedar Valley necessarily as a tourist destination, but in fact, folks do come here. Certainly check out friends over at Lost Island. Check out some of those, the Isle, some of the great opportunities that happen throughout the city. But they also come and visit family, and they visit friends when they come for business, whether it's a convention or a reunion. hopefully we can get them to come back. And so we look at RAGBRAI as an excellent opportunity for folks to get maybe their initial exposure into Waterloo and then come back maybe 10 days later for Irish Fest or later for another festival or event or just to hang out.
Mayor, you wanted to add?
Yeah, and I just want to say, first of all, I want to give a shout out to Tavis and the entire Experience Waterloo department for making sure that people understand the great things that are taking place within our local community. I mean, if you take a look at just downtown and the fact that we have a museum district with the Grout, with the Sullivans, with the Dan Gable Wrestling Museum, the fact that Waterloo, Iowa has the largest Haitian art collection in the world. And then you take a look at the fact that Lost Island Water Park is ranked #2 in the United States in the top 5 internationally. But these types of quality of life amenities, they've done such an excellent job of bringing those to life. And I always say, you know, if people say, why Waterloo? Well, why not Waterloo? That's the phrase, and that's what people are saying. So we have so much to offer RAGBRAI, and we have so much to offer. So when you take a look at experience, that's what it's all about. So incredible name and incredible group of people to work with.
Absolutely. And Tavis, I know that the mayor thinks you're doing a great job. We all do. And of course, I want to thank personally, though, Lindsay Peters of Experience Waterloo for lining up the interview for us today on pretty short notice. So we do appreciate that. So
on one of the best shows in the entire Midwest, this one right here.
I'm really not sure how to respond to that. I didn't endorse this guy. Wait a minute. I live in Hudson. No. Okay, we're kind of coming to Waterloo from Iowa Falls, which will be a 72-mile journey. That'll be on a Tuesday, and then Waterloo, they'll leave Iowa Falls. The date again is going to be Wednesday, July 22nd. So what are you looking for right now? Are you looking for volunteers, people to help out, or do you have enough already?
We do. So we've got 19 committees that it takes to put this event on. And so we need folks to help fill both leadership roles as well as sort of day of execution roles. We're also looking for sponsors. So VGM obviously is a big partner there, but we're going to need additional support.
Exactly.
And so folks going to experiencewaterloo.com, you can find the RAGBRAI button and figure out where you're able to fit in. Our goal is, while we've got a vision for this event, we also want to make sure that we're taking this opportunity that RAGBRAI presents as a community building exercise, that folks are able to really take ownership of this event, leave their fingerprint on what's going to be one of the best stops in decades.
Yeah, we've got the address there up on your screen, but yeah, your Facebook, RAGBRAI Waterloo, Facebook site is already up, the website is already up. There's some tons of information. And also, are you looking for families that might be willing to take in riders like they usually do and stuff like that?
We'll need hosts, we'll need volunteers, sort of the full gamut. It really is an all hands on deck. And so we're asking not just sponsors to help with volunteers, but community members as well to help this community lift.
Okay, we're going to take one short break here on the Steele Report for this week. We'll come back. All of our shows are online on kwwl.com. It is the best show, of course, as the mayor. Thank you for pointing that out. He said modestly. We'll take a break right now and come back in just a moment. And welcome back to this week's edition of the Steele Report, as we're talking about the RAGBRAI 48 overnight stop on July 22nd in Waterloo with Tavis Hall and Mayor Hart. And I noticed on the website, which is a good one that you have there for Experience Waterloo, Tavis, it says, "Welcome to Waterloo, an overnight experience at the riverfront." Now, I thought maybe that was going to be your theme. You're still working on an actual theme for this event, right?
That's right. Like I said before, our goal is to engage as many community members as possible. That includes on the marketing side as well. So we've got marketing, festival, campgrounds, and then there's the safety committee. And we want folks to sort of find whatever way they feel rewards them the most personally to get engaged with the committee. And so we're asking folks to go to experiencewaterloo.com, let us know where you want to volunteer and where you want to get involved. And then we're going to pick that theme as a group of what messaging really speaks best for Waterloo.
Sounds great.
And to reiterate, it's absolutely important. You want to figure out how you can be involved, how you can be engaged. Please sign up, because it is the level of volunteers that makes the determination how successful this event is. And we want to show them that Waterloo nice, So please get to the website, sign up, call Experience Waterloo, or call your cell phone number. We'll get that to you in a few minutes. But we have to make sure that people get signed up because volunteers make all the difference.
They sure do it. You know, the mayor was praising my show here in the first segment, so I will say also, you have a show for City of Waterloo called Heart for the City. So I assume you'll be talking about RAGBRAI in your program at some point too, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. And we may even do a live remote.
Fantastic.
There. So
well, I know we'll be doing plenty of live remotes. We'll probably take our entire newscast somewhere in the downtown area. So kind of give us a vision of what it's going to look like down by the amphitheater. What's that going to be like? Yeah.
So
is that where the major concerts will be?
Well, so we're actually sort of unique in that we're going to have 2 stages.
Okay.
So we'll have one at the amphitheater, another at the expo grounds. So sort of within that footprint on the west side of the river, but it'll be the full gamut. And then the overnight, the campgrounds, primarily will be at Exchange Park, but we'll utilize San Susie and some other spaces around as well. So it's going to be a really cool experience to showcase not just downtown, but some neighborhoods as well.
Yeah, there's going to be huge crowds downtown, so obviously people are going to be advised. We're going to talk a lot more about this later as we get closer. We're still 5 months away yet, so a lot of planning yet to be done. But to have those 2 venues for the concerts, 2 big stages within 2 minutes of each other is fantastic, or less than 2 minutes actually, like a minute. Yeah.
Right.
It's a cool opportunity to showcase. To the mayor's point earlier, a lot of the foresight that went into developing that west side space, both the amphitheater, expo grounds, sort of that whole area. WDC has done a fantastic job with helping guide the development on that side and all of the membership over there.
And having a RAGBRAI is a tremendous economic impact to our local community, from vendors, from hotels to food, beverages, and all of that. It's a huge boom to our local economy. So we're so excited.
Fantastic. Experience Waterloo website also, Tavis, I noticed you have How to Celebrate Black History Month on there. Tell people just a little bit about that. We're in Black History Month right now, and that's a good source then to go to your website there.
Absolutely. So we try to do some of this throughout the year, right, where we aren't just talking about which hotels to stay at or which restaurants, but also ways to fully engage in our community. And Waterloo offers a unique experience for Iowa with certainly a sizable black population. And so we try to drive as much traffic as we can to the Experience Waterloo website, get folks to go in, check it out, read through. And there's a lot of points for folks to take away, whether it's Black History Month or MLK Day, whether it's Irish Fest, some of the calendar pieces, or if it's just different points of interest throughout the year. We try to be creative in how we're having that communication. So it's not just a, hey, go to this event, but sometimes it's a little bit more of a story about our community.
Absolutely. Yeah, I wasn't shocked at all that Waterloo got it. I was a little bit shocked at Dubuque. I thought Dubuque would be the natural step, but they're going to go a little bit south. They're going to leave here and go to Anamosa and then on over to Maquoketa and then end in Clinton this year. So real quickly, what excites you most about this opportunity, Mayor?
Other than the fact we have about 20,000 bikes coming through downtown, the fact that, one, that we are allowed to host, to see our community come together to support such a tremendous event and have thousands of people be able to see who Waterloo truly is. So that excites me, and it's one more incredible thing that's taking place here.
And Tavis, were you kind of on pins and needles, or did you kind of get the feeling from the folks at the Register and the RAGBRAI that Waterloo was going to be an overnight stop this year?
We knew that we were in the running, but we didn't know that it was a surefire thing. And so, we had a contingent of us that went down and sort of cheered on the city as they made the announcement. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, you should have saw the guy that had the cheese hat on at the meeting. I mean, we exchange Facebook information, and they can't wait to get here. They're actually going to stop by my office once they get here as well. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, there's some interesting characters on RAGBRAI, that's for sure.
I'm gonna come from behind my desk and have on my biker shorts too. So how about that?
I was going to say, will either of you actually ride in this race? Or it's not a race; it's just an event. Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's going to be hosting.
Yeah, I'll be a little busy.
He'll be working, and I'll be hosting. So I may grab a bike or two, or get out there.
All right.
You don't believe me?
I believe you. All right, so that's it for this particular segment of the Waterloo RAGBRAI for part of RAGBRAI 48 coming up on July 22nd. That's a Wednesday this summer. Coming up next, I want you to meet a young man who is the executive director of a new nonprofit, relatively new nonprofit in the area. They help out foster kids and foster families. It's called Cedar Valley Angels, and that's coming up next.